I'm Nate Pooterball with your sports update. Afternoon baseball down in Cincinnati saw the Reds keep their playoff hopes alive, beating the Pirates by a score of 2-1. Nick Lodolo went 6 1/3 scoreless innings in the win. The Reds offense scored both runs in the fifth on a Gavin Lux RBI single and TJ Friedl scoring on a throwing error. The AL Central leading Cleveland Guardians wrap up their series with the Detroit Tigers tonight, hoping to extend their division lead with just 4 games remaining. The Guardians have won 6 straight at home. They square off at 6:40 tonight with Parker Messick taking on the Tigers' Troy Melton. In NFL news, former Buckeye Justin Fields returned to the practice field today, hoping to return from concussion protocol prior to Monday night's game against the Dolphins. He's been out since week 2. Tonight in the NFL, it's Seattle traveling to Arizona to take on former Buckeye Marvin Harrison and the Cardinals. And it's travel day for the Ohio State Buckeyes as they head out west and take on the Washington Huskies. Coach Ryan Day said that's the best way to go, hoping to get the team acclimated to the West Coast. They face off with the Huskies Saturday at 3:30 Eastern. Breaking sports news, what happens to the fan?
Bring it up for Ohio State.
You've waited all day for this.
He's going to take it to the house. 85 yards. Down the right side going Devin Smith. Got it at the 5 and into the end zone. Touchdown.
The one show that's nothing but the Buckeyes.
Oh, Graham Rucker for the touchdown. Graham shoots it high on the right for 3.
This is the Buckeye Show.
Off and rolling here on a Thursday. I'm Brandon Beam, hanging out with my guy Austin Ward, Nate Dogg behind the glass. A-Ward Sports, happy Thursday to you, my friend. What's happening?
It is a glorious Thursday, and it's a great time to be back with you talking about the Buckeyes.
Kind of felt a little Seattle-y today.
It's acclimating me, although it's supposed to be pretty gorgeous on Saturday at 12:30 Pacific time.
I was looking at the weather for Seattle. 75 is your high, 55 is your low, and it's going to be actually... sun's going to be shining out there for you in the lovely Pacific Northwest.
I'm excited. Leaving tomorrow afternoon, right around 3 o'clock. Got a little direct action out there to Seattle.
Yeah, sweet.
So I think you should just come along with me.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Me, you, Berm.
All right, that sounds good. I can do the post-game show. They've got the radio stuff all hooked up.
Absolutely, they
I can do it from out there.
Yeah.
Can Jay-Z come?
Of course.
Okay.
We've got...
Can Nate come? Nate, you want to go?
I was going to say, I noted I wasn't invited.
Yeah, I made sure to invite you right there.
Yeah, that's my mistake. I apologize. More the merrier. I will warn you, though, because there is only one pull-out couch available at the Residence Inn on Lake Union.
We can share.
Yeah, I mean, that's up to you guys.
Yeah,
so, and I was going to warn you, like, the hotel prices this weekend are pretty expensive. I thought that was just because of Ohio State and Washington, and then I remembered, Shohei and the Dodgers are also in town to take on the Mariners. So the rates skyrocketed. I was like, this is very strange. There are thousands upon thousands of hotel rooms in Seattle, and it's several $100s a night.
All right, well.
Not that I'm complaining about covering Ohio State.
No, absolutely. You can't be. Are you going to be doing any sailgating, Austin?
No. So I had several Ohio State fans that were talking about that and planning their trip months ago. And they said, we want to go out there. We want to do the full experience. We want to do the sailgating. And I guess the boats had sold out like months ago in preparation for this game.
Jay-Z and I were talking about it last night. Again, he brought up a great question. He was like, well, what do they do? You rent water space out there? Like, how does this all operate? I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I've never been. We'll have to ask Austin when he gets back.
I will look into that. Now, Tennessee had something similar with the Vol Navy, so I don't think that you had to pay for any of that. You tied up your boat next to somebody else's boat, and then you walked over and hopped along till you got to land. Mm-hmm. So I don't think there was any expense for that, but who knows in Washington? I'm going to find out, though. I'll get up extra early, go check out the sailgating scene and say, hey, did you guys have to pay for this spot?
Yeah, what's going on here? You had to pay for this water?
And what are you drinking over there?
Something probably good. Maybe a Rainier. Maybe it's going to be the beverage of choice out there. We got a great show lined up for you here this evening. Had the Ryan Day show today. You'll hear from him coming up in our next segment around 6:17. Our wide receiver friend, DeVier Posey. He's going to join us at 6:30. Talk some Buckeyes. This aerial attack. Austin, how is that going to travel? Julian Sands' first road game in his career. So we'll check in with Depot at 6:30. We'll attempt to answer your question of the day, Austin, which surrounds the Ohio State running backs around 6:46. Get into the pulse at 7 o'clock. And then at 7:30, Carp. He's going to join us for his traditional Thursday spot at 7:30.
The
General, Bobby Carp.
Oh, my goodness.
He's going to pop on straight off of youth football practice.
Wow.
Every Thursday, 7:30.
I mean, I haven't talked to him in at least 27 hours, so I'm overdue.
Yeah, you need your fixing. What's your big question of the day? I mean, here we are on Thursday. I
thought that was at 6:46.
No, that is your question today. I'm asking you,
yeah,
what in your mind is going through as you're getting ready to leave. Buckeyes, I'm sure, are already gone.
They're gone.
Yeah, they're gone. They left after the Ryan Day show a little bit earlier on here this afternoon. So to you, what's the burning question, Austin, as you get into your first Big Ten game and then add in your first road trip of the season as well?
Yeah, I mean, I really have 3, and I'm not trying to cheat, but you can lump them all together because you've looked at the way people are breaking down this matchup, and I'm talking about folks in the desert, and the number has been a little bit surprising to me.
Yeah, it opened at 13.5, and it's down to 7.5.
Now, today it went back up. So at least the last I saw, it was heading back the other direction to 8.5. And, some of the places that I was looking, they were like 97% of the picks just to win outright. The money line wagers are on Ohio State. Most people fully expect them to win this game, as they should. But there are pathways to Washington winning this game. This is not one of those opportunities where it's Ohio State and Rutgers, and I don't even entertain the notion that an upset could happen. Yeah. And I pick 100-0 score, and we all have a good laugh, and then the Buckeyes
and
win.
then they run a fumble-rooski and
then
brawl at midfield between Ryan Day and Greg Schiano.
Shucks, Ohio State only won by 50 against a Big Ten opponent. That's not the case here, and I know coming off the practice field on Wednesday night, Ohio State, they're very much taking this game seriously. And as far as I can tell, there's 3 reasons. It's you focus, and I'm tying it into why this, I think it's only happened twice in the history of the AP poll and the history of gambling, where the number 1 ranked team in the country is playing an unranked opponent, and they're only favored by single digits.
Crazy, by the way. Side note that Washington is not even close to being on the AP.
Yeah, they're not getting a single vote.
Crazy.
And again, that's also a reflection of what we don't know a ton about Washington, because
I know that they're better than some of the teams currently in the top 25.
No, you're almost certainly right because of DeMond Williams, the talent they have there, Coleman, Denzel Boston, wide receiver. They have a triplet trio there on offense that is going to give Ohio State a real test, and that plays into it. Washington is talented. They're playing at home. They've won 22 straight games there, and when you factor in the noise of Husky Stadium, cross-country travel, and Julian Say making his starting debut there on the road and against a Big Ten opponent.
They've punted twice so far this year. Washington's played 3 football games. They have punted 2 times, and I know that Ryan Day joked around a little bit in his press conference saying, well, we don't really have too much film on their punt team, so maybe they'll double them up. Yeah. For their season totals. Maybe they'll get to 2 punts in this game. We'll see what happens. But, yeah, obviously you have to be very weary of them.
And, look, Ohio State is also not the same type of animal as Colorado State and Washington State and UC Davis.
Also true.
I think we know all of that is correct. But, and that's, I'm not trying to diminish what they are or aren't at Washington. I do fully think that a quarterback with this athleticism in DeMond Williams is going to create a new challenge. Matt Patricia, how do you want to handle that? Are you going to spy with Arvell Reese for the entire game? Do you want to do something creatively with Caleb Downs? Probably going to do both of those things, but what's the right choice at the right time? I know that Matt Patricia has been diving into this throughout this week and last week. He has the extra week to prepare, and he gave his press conference a week ago on Tuesday and was already deep into the personnel file with DeMond Williams and comparing him to Kyler Murray. And, I was trying to ask him coming off the practice field on Wednesday night. So, thinking back to this quarterback in the NFL, if it was Michael Vick that you were preparing for, or Lamar Jackson, who would you have used with the Patriots or with the Lions? Yeah. What would be the approach? And he's like, well, it depends on what that quarterback can do.
I think it's, very different when you talk to him. And again, he's got a big brain, a lot of football knowledge rattling around in there. And it also probably depends on who he had on his roster during that time as well.
That's right. And I said, well, I'm sorry, because you have to be prepared to have a conversation with him. And none of this was meant for getting the game plan or even to just blast out to the world right now. It was just having a conversation. I was just trying to get a feel for what's the best way to do that? Because I've been talking about Arvell Reese being this dual threat neutralizer because he can drop back into pass coverage. We've seen him rush the passer. He's been used as a spy. He can do all the things to try and take away what DeMond Williams or any dual threat quarterback can do. I said, well, is it that easy? Do you just use Arvell? Is there a teach tape from New England? Is there a player that you would use? And he'd say, well, you have to find, if you're going to use a spy, that spy needs to fit the skill set. Because the the example I used there with Lamar Jackson. It's like, well, Lamar Jackson can run you over. So you're not going to go spy him with a nickel necessarily. Yeah. You're not going to, you could use Caleb Downs probably to spy anyone in the world. Maybe you can do the same thing with Arvell Reese, but
yeah, it's just a side thought in my brain. Also very hard to spy Lamar Jackson. Even if you're doing it the whole game with a guy like Caleb Downs, translate him into the NFL, that's a very tough task.
Well, and I think that was at the start of that conversation. That was what Matt Patricia said. He said, if we spy. And it was like, I'm sorry, I shouldn't be taking any of these things for granted. And maybe I'm saying too much right now anyway. But, you know, and I don't know what their plan is going to be, to be honest, because I was more trying to get a general idea of what sort of concept would apply to defending somebody like it. And Matt Patricia is way too smart to be like, here you go, guy who's going to go talk to Brandon Beam on the Buckeye show tomorrow night.
Here's the game plan.
Here's what it's going to be. So, but it can be any number of things. And I think that was the point that Matt Patricia was trying to make to me. You can't just say it's going to be one thing, especially because Damon Williams has a skill set that allows him to.
It's unique.
And a weapon in Denzel Boston that they can stretch the field. And you can't just say, well, when he tucks, it's going to be to go run. And you need to go chase him down. He can be to be elusive and extend plays in the pocket and then throw downfield. So you don't want to necessarily give away too much in the back end with the secondary. But I think how Matt Patricia, to me, I think it's become more relevant how he uses this personnel to defend Washington, which that is the strength of their team. These three guys, a run game, quarterback, and an elite wide receiver. I don't really worry about Julian Sayin going on the road personally. I think he's going to be fine. His college debut as a starter was against Texas and one of the most talented defenses in the country.
And he exceeded expectations, I
think Noyes, he'll probably be unfazed by that. Now, we're going to find out on Saturday afternoon, but I think the key then becomes how Ohio State neutralizes a real threat at quarterback for Washington, and that's what's really got my attention now.
I think it might be the linebackers because I think they're going to be important out in Seattle on Saturday. Ryan Day also said that in his coach's show today. You're going to hear from him coming up next. It's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
Big voice guy here to remind you that you're listening to The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Okay, thanks. I have 3 more seconds. Bye-bye.
At the Ohio Lottery, we make Keno fun, your way. That means every few minutes across Ohio, 20 out of 80 possible numbers are randomly picked. And if some of the numbers you pick match, voila, you're a winner. Keno doesn't require you to know a single thing about sports ball or overs, unders, pluses, minuses, or lines, or whatever else. Keno is as simple as, did some of my numbers match? They did? Great. You just raked in some dough. There are more than 20 hours of Keno draws every day and thousands of places to play statewide. Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
Imagine what it would feel like getting tackled head-on by a 240-pound linebacker. You'd be in serious pain, right? But if you're unbuckled in a car crash, at just 50 miles an hour, you become a deadly projectile that can slam into other passengers with 8 times that amount of force. Don't let someone else take the hit. Buckle up and visit buckleup.ohio.gov to learn more. Brought to you by ODOT and ODPS.
Go behind the scenes of one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of college athletics with a tour of Ohio Stadium, presented by Experience Columbus. A seasoned redcoat will be your guide as you make your way through walls of the stadium, into the press box, and onto the field. Upgrade to the VIP package and get special access to the band center and the Ohio State home locker room. From corporate outings and school groups to single-person tours and small families, Ohio Stadium tours offer a variety of options and pricing. For more information, visit ohiostatebuckeyes.com and book your tour. Ohio Stadium Tours, presented by Experience Columbus.
Nobody has more all-wheel drive or electrified hybrid choices than Toyota. Now through September 30th, get 2.99 APR financing on a rugged new 25 Tacoma. Excludes TRD Pro and Trail Hunter. Or lease a well-equipped Tacoma SR5 for $269 a month for 36 months with $39.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS. Tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to Toyota.com. Toyota, Let's go places.
Modern Office Methods, your authorized RICO dealer, can help your business optimize your print production with a competitive advantage. Our digital printing options will expand the type of paper and substrates from what your business can print on today. Add variable data capability, which allows for personalization of catalogs and mailers, and the ability for short-run label printing, which allows your business to print high volumes of custom labels quickly and on demand. Want to learn more? Start with a print assessment at momnet.com. Why risk it? You can count on Mom.
They're trained. They're prepared.
Let's do it.
They're Ohio's undefeated plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling team. And they're here to tackle your problems. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Can't get enough of your favorite fan content? Good news, we're on all the digitals. Follow 971 The Fan on X, Facebook, YouTube, The Talk, and Gram. Your digital home for endless shenanigans. The Fan.
It's game day at Raising Cane's. If you want to order like a Buckeye, it's the action off the field you need to focus on. The only play you're running is chicken. So what combo are you picking? Make it a perfect season. We've got tailgates of hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers and cane sauce. And jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade. All available to order online or on our app. This season is about to be unbeatable. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love. Proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Experience Buckeye game day like never before. Welcome to the 1922 Club, the most exclusive space inside Ohio Stadium, where luxury meets tradition in the heart of Buckeye Nation. Enjoy upscale food and beverages and a game day atmosphere like no other. Create lasting memories with friends and mingling with other Buckeye fans, and celebrate every OHIO in ultimate comfort. Become a member of the 1922 Club today. Memberships are limited. Visit ohiostatebuckeyes.com.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Plenty of clouds around, a couple of scattered showers, and maybe a rumble of thunder on this Thursday. Temperatures in the mid-70s. Overnight, down to the upper 50s with clearing skies and some patchy fog early Friday. During the afternoon and evening, temperatures back in the mid to upper 70s with plenty of sunshine and a great night with high school football temperatures in the 70s. With your 10 weather impact forecast, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jerry Martz on The Fan.
Ryan Day's favorite radio show. Probably. Maybe. You're listening to The Buckeye Show.
Hanging out with my guy Austin Ward this evening. We're approaching the weekend. Fridays, high school football. And our Capital Ford of Columbus high school football game of the week this week is going to take us to Hilliard tomorrow night. 4-1 Davidson. They battle undefeated Olentangy Orange. Coverage will start at 6:30. Got the kickoff at 7. Then after the game, it's Byers Subaru Dublin's Overtime with Ryan Baker and Lee Cochran. Friday nights are for high school football right here on The Fan. Yeah, you're going to be taking off in the Big Bird before that all gets running.
Yeah, will be. Looking forward to it. Checking off another stadium from the bucket list. The guy who's...
How excited are you to go, actually, to Washington? Because I feel like you don't get to visit that many new places. Last year it was Oregon, but, yeah, another one off your bucket list.
Yeah,
We're going to have to hear a full... Press Box Snob review next week.
All right, easy. Now, here's something for you, all right? I knew this was going to come up.
Okay.
The PBS is unavoidable before a road trip. But the guy who's been spending Thursday nights with you, Mr. Patrick Murphy.
Yeah, he left today.
He was at the Woody. We were all talking about, have you been to Seattle? Yeah, I've been to Seattle. You caught a fish in there? Yeah, I've been in the market. All these... small talk beforehand.
Got a cup of Joe. You listen to any grunge.
Have you heard of Starbucks? Yeah, it's in Seattle. Yeah. And we're just,
Amazon, it's out in Seattle.
Yeah. Who's got plans? Boeing. I'm going to go take a tour so I can keep up with Matt Patricia and talk some aeronautics.
Even Microsoft.
Yeah. I think it's
out there too.
Big business hub. Anyway, what are your plans Thursday night, Friday night? Where are you going to go? What do you?
I know what Murph's doing. You don't even have to ask.
You know what I'm doing too. Yeah. So but that's also my reputation. It's like, which breweries has Austin already picked out to go to, and who wants to go and who doesn't want to go? A lot of people are also going to watch the Dodgers and Mariners, by the way. But Murph chimes in, and the conversation was, because it always circles back to someone on the beat who I don't know, they get stuck sitting on the roof of a press box, or they complain about the scenarios at Notre Dame, or maybe the food is not
not equipped to handle the Buckeye beat. I mean, it's the biggest one in the country.
Not that edible, or they give you a ticket for a dry pretzel. I don't know who would talk about any of those things when they are so blessed to be able to go on the road and watch every Ohio State game that has ever played. I know that I count my blessings every single day for that. But this person, Murph, boy, he's just got that snob bloodline DNA. Yeah, he said, well, I did an interview and had a conversation with the 247 Washington guy, and he said, don't plan on the food being good. It's 2-week-old box sandwiches.
Good.
So I'm just excited to go see this
before you get there.
Yeah, I'm a grown man. I'll pack a lunch.
I'm 40.
Yeah, I am 42. If I need to have an extra bagel at breakfast, I will. I'll take care of my own business. Don't need the food. That's not here nor there for me. I want to hear the acoustics.
Yeah,
I want to see the view. I want to see the sailgating. And I've not been to this stadium before. Now, I've seen Washington play. They're on that list of whatever it is, 94 or 95 college football teams that I've been fortunate enough to see live, but haven't been to this stadium. It's got a great reputation. I've been out to Seattle before.
Uniform matchup's going to be pretty good, too, I think, because they're wearing all purples with the golden domes.
Oh,
it's a strong look.
Get the all whites, maybe?
I think so. Well, I don't know about the all whites, but
I love the all whites.
Yeah, you'll have the gray bottoms with the white tops.
What do they call those? All whites?
Oh, the all whites?
Yeah. What do they have?
Why don't we ask DeVier when he comes up at 6:30?
They call those stormtroopers. That's what I go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There's no other nickname for them that I'm aware of.
I don't think there is either. Ryan Day was having his radio show, just like what we were talking about, Austin, in the opening segment, how the linebackers are going to be very important for this matchup against the Huskies.
Yeah, we need those guys to play great in this game. As you know, we got a huge challenge ahead of us. Very good on offense, a lot of weapons, and so. The linebackers are the ones that tie the front end to the back end, and Arvell's versatility has certainly been huge for us, and Sonny's as well, and Peyton.
Yeah, I just think, Austin, when we get to the crux of this whole thing, and we can ask Bob, coming up here at 7:30, played that side of the football and was pretty good at it as well. Like when you're facing a mobile quarterback, a guy who can extend plays like Damon Williams, just how imperative that linebacker play is going to be. Now, it's been spectacular so far this season, all three of those guys. Peyton Pierce, heck of a game against OU a couple of weeks ago. Know that James said during training camp that we look at him as much of a starter as Arvell and Sonny. So I think those guys are going to be tested for sure on Saturday. At least that's got to be Washington's game plan, right? Like, I don't know if you're going to run right at him. That doesn't seem like a good idea, but try to run around him maybe.
Yeah, Damon Williams will definitely try and do that, and he's got that first step quickness or first quick stepness.
Yeah, whichever one.
I think they're the same thing, but Arvell Reese has that too. Sonny Styles has that as well. Played safety when he first got to Ohio State. He can run around and get sideline to sideline as well. So, and the combination of both of those guys, especially Arvell, now that he's 8 feet tall. How many times does Damon Williams want to get hit by those guys? How many can he take? I mean, the other part of this Kyler Murray comparison is that he's under 6 feet tall, and I think he's listed at about 188 pounds, and he may not even be that.
What's Arvell and Sonny listed at? 6'4",
Arvell is 8 feet tall.
Yeah,
and
275 pounds.
275 pounds. Yeah. So, if you want to get hit by him a bunch, that's not my choice. I would probably avoid it if it were up to me. But I'm not on the field, and I'm not making that decision.
I thought this was pretty interesting as well from Ryan Day today on the Coach's Show. How much film does he actually watch on an opposing team's offense? Here's his answer.
I'll usually watch some crossover games leading up to it, because if there's a common opponent, then that's the easiest way. Obviously, this week with the bye week, I was able to watch a ton and get a chance to just see it from my point of view, and then get with Matt and the defensive staff and just kind of share, some perspective that I have. But I try not to, taint their thought process on what they see. And then along the way, just get some feedback on how, they'd like to attack the offense and how they'd like to game plan and put our guys in situations. And then, I'll just sort of, give some of my feedback on things that I see from my point of view, areas that I would attack, and then just kind of have a bunch of conversation that way. And then as we get closer, get more of a feel of what we're going to do, and then go from there.
That'll be a pretty nice luxury to have all those football brains in the same building working for the same goal, right?
Yeah, and as that staff has expanded, and as Ohio State Gene Smith first, and then on the way to Ross Bjork with, making sure that every position group had 2, 3, 4 sets of eyes, both on the practice field and in meeting rooms and in the film study. This is as close as you're going to find to an NFL outfit in college football, and they leave no stone unturned. And I think that we've had so many of these conversations about Matt Patricia doing that, and how from week to week he's going to, put together a game plan that fits, and he's flexible and versatile enough to unleash a bunch of different schemes. And I think that, Ryan Day's got some of that NFL background to him as well. And Brian Hartline played for an awful long time in the NFL, and Billy Fessler and, Keenan Bailey, these guys have all seen it. Yeah. Across the staff, Tim Walton, all these guys have a ton of knowledge with them. And then the next wave of people that Ohio State brought in to supplement that with quality control and experienced GAs and all these extra positions, they really have the ability on both sides of the football to open up and install whatever they want. Now, you always have to counteract that with what's too much for 18, 19, 20-year-olds.
Yep.
But
that's their jobs, though.
That's their job. Find out what the right thing is, and the benefit is, Ohio State's also recruiting the best of the best and some of the sharpest football minds that you're going to find in the country. So if you're asking Caleb Downs to learn a new assignment and he's got 2 weeks to do that for Washington, I think he's probably got a good chance of doing that.
I think he does as well. Ryan Day was also asked just about kind of what we were talking about, the staff continuity on the defense and really how important it is with those guys working so well together.
Yeah, that was part of going through and trying to identify the right coordinator for our defense. Not necessarily, the greatest this, the greatest that. It's like, what's the right fit for what we're looking for. And so one of the things when, we identified Matt was he was very intelligent, really good with the players, built relationships on the team, but also on the staff, but then had the background of playing multiple things and could utilize our guys different ways. So those were all things that played into it. But I think the biggest thing was that Matt's been able to step into like a room that, they were already there, and that's unique for a coordinator. Usually they bring a lot of their guys. Now he does have some of his guys with him here, but that help him. But all 4 of those guys have really embraced him, and that's been a huge deal because to me, staff chemistry is very, very important. The players see that, they feed off of it, and I believe we have very good staff chemistry. And Larry, James, Tim, Matt, they all do a great job. They work hard and they pour into these players. They do a good job in recruiting. And, you can see the product on the field. And their goal was for their guys to grade out a champion, their unit to grade out over 80%. They take a lot of pride in that.
I think it's interesting to hear him talk about the defensive side of the ball, knowing that him, Brian Hartline, Keenan Bailey have been together for nearly 10 years.
It's crazy, isn't it? I mean, how long those guys have been working together and see the game the same way. But what's also, I think, important about that, it's not just making sure that you have the same chemistry on the offensive side of the football, but also that you continue to be open to those new ideas. So when I say that it's NFL style, you've brought in Carlos Lachlan a year ago. You have a fresh set of eyes and a fresh set of ideas. You've got Tyler Bowen in there with a different way of maybe doing some things with the offensive line in the run game. Ryan Day's hires have not been, you must come in and do things exactly the way that they've always been done at Ohio State. That's how you run the risk of your program getting stale, getting predictable. That's how you become Clemson. And that's not what's happening for Ohio State. So, we've had that situation before. A lot of other programs and a lot of other coaches who've had success. This is my way that works. You need to come in and acclimate to that. That's not a great way to guarantee success into the future, and Ryan Day's continued to show that he's open to that.
Yeah, it's been working pretty well for him as of recently. Our friend, former Buckeye, DeVier Posey, he's going to join the program. We'll talk about this Ohio State passing attack with us coming up here in 2 minutes. It's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
Common Man here for Jermaine Lexus. It's fall or autumn, as the losers like to say. What does that mean in the car world? That means places like Jermaine Lexus want to clear out all of their 2025 inventory to make room for the 2026 models. And for you, the customer, that means big savings. Take advantage of their lack of space with aggressive pricing. They also have plenty of L-certified vehicles on the lot for the fall collection sales event. If you're in the market, please stop in and see my friends. Jermaine Lexus, 2 locations to serve you, Dublin and Easton, JermaineLexus.com. DelawareCountyVeteranServices.com.
Delaware County Veteran Services, here for those who served. Located on the ground floor of the historic courthouse in downtown Delaware, our team of Veteran County Veteran Service officers is ready to help you access VA benefits, emergency financial assistance, dental and medical grants, transportation, and more. Need a ride to a VA appointment? Facing a financial emergency? Are you or your spouse simply looking for answers? Then give Delaware County Veteran Services a call. 740-833-2010 to schedule an appointment. Delaware County Veteran Services.
AgPro has been family owned and operated for over 64 years. We take pride in developing long-lasting relationships and offering first-class customer service. Need a new tractor, parts for your used equipment, or reliable service? AgPro has you covered. AgPro is here to serve you and your operation as your hometown dealer. Visit us today at any of our AgPro locations or go online to agproco.com to get started with your AgPro experience.
I love the neighborhood where I grew up, but it was tough.
Ohio State championship quarterback Cardale Jones.
Football helped me find my direction, but I also needed the right support system. I remember seeing that CareSource heart around town and just knowing they had my back. That's the kind of difference they still make in neighborhoods like mine. And that means the world to so many children today. My name is Cardale Jones, and I was a CareSource kid.
CareSource, your Medicaid, your choice. Visit caresource.com/Medicaid.
The Buckeye Show is sponsored by CareSource, proud to be your home for Ohio State athletics. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
4 out of 5 dentists recommend this show. The other dentist is a Michigan fan. Yuck. You're listening to The Buckeye Show.
Coming up 1 hour from right now, 7:30, Carpy's going to join the program fresh off of youth football practice. Be fun, talk some defense with him. As for now, though, we head out to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline, maybe talk a little bit of offense. He's our guy, former Buckeye, great friend of the program. He is DeVier Posey. Depot, what's happening? Are you at practice right now? What do you got going on?
I'm absolutely at practice. we just made the kids start doing some sprints, so it's actually a good time.
They're going to have to do 10 minutes of sprints because DeVier's got to be on the phone?
No. This is due to their undisciplined action.
Ooh.
Oh no!
Oh, like a little Fran Brown Syracuse situation going on here.
You want to turn the intensity up. You got to pick certain parts of the season and turn it up. Have intense practices. You guys know how this goes.
You ever make them do bear crawls, DeVier? Because that was always my least favorite thing in the entire world.
No up downs and no bear crawls. Those are pointless to football. But whatever we need to do to get them going. You got to do sprints, though.
Yeah, they're strong character builders, though. I'll give you that. All right, well, hopefully the sprints go okay. Let's talk about some Buckeyes. When you're traveling, DeVier, all the way across country, you're going on the road against this Washington program. Julian Sand, first road start in his career. It's a loud, it's a raucous environment. What do you think this is going to look like for Ohio State Saturday against a Washington Huskies team whose offense really has been prolific through their first 3 games?
Yeah, I think this is a good test for Ohio State. In terms of Texas, their offense really didn't get going. So I don't think our secondary had as much, testing that they've really had. I think since the Oregon game last year, if you run down the schedule, as far as deep threats and quarterbacks who have talent to be a dual threat, something like Dylan Gabriel, and with the players that they have in the running back room, Jonah Hill, and then obviously Boston and Omari Evans, this offense is just as talented as that Oregon team, right? Like our DBs haven't seen that much firepower. Now I know you can go Notre Dame, I know you can go, Texas, but they execute at a high clip in the passing and catching game. So it's going to be a test for us there. And I think for our offense, it's really, can Julian handle the role, right? I mean, seemingly this guy is a straight A student so far. His first semester as starting quarterback. This is a big midterm exam for him, right? His first road test. He's eerily and oddly good in terms of just, his cool and his poise. So I don't expect anything to be different, man. I think this is why this kid has won his job and he's been who he is, his whole life is, he kind of passes things, just flipping his hair back and doing it, as cool as he does. So I think he'll be good on the road, but it could be tight, though. I don't expect us to go out there and blow everyone out.
DeVier, what was it like for you the first time that you went into one of these road environments? I know that, Tress, just like Urban, just like Ryan Day, now everybody's going to crank up those speakers at the Woody and make sure that it's loud in preparation. Does it actually simulate enough what it's like, or do you just have to experience that the first time yourself?
Yeah, I think so. And I think for opposing, offenses, it's always hard, right? But the defense, you get to play in a quiet environment, and that's different for them, right? Like, the crowd is normally excited. They're playing the third down bell. So it's an adjustment on both sides. But I think you can't really simulate stadium noise or impact third downs with, somebody doing a synchronized chant on all sides of the stadium. That's hard to simulate. So you kind of have to just simulate perfection during this kind of week, right? Like you overemphasize, don't break the huddle and go the wrong way. That right there could cause the 30-second play clock to run down on us. So in practice, even though we're not simulating the crowd noise, we are simulating absolute perfection in terms of operations, pre-snap, to make sure the crowd doesn't affect us in that manner.
He is DeVier Posey with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. DeVier, we're through the quarter pole mark now of Ohio State season, coming off of the bye weekend, off weekend, whatever you want to call it, last week. What's your biggest takeaway so far from this offense and how it can grow and be perfect, in your words?
Oh, man, I think I get surprised every year, but I think my biggest takeaway is the emergence of Bo Jackson, right? I mean, who this guy is, Ohio running back, the name, the production. I like what I see, and it could be the start of a legend. And I think, the last couple of weeks, just establishing a run game has been something that we needed to come, into the season early and do. And I think that's really been the storyline for me. I mean, obviously the playmakers in the field, Carnell Tate has been great. He can be one of the first 2 or 3 receivers taken in this draft, which, I wouldn't be surprised to keep the Ohio State first-round streak going. And so I think, Carnell Tate is playing. Obviously, you don't got to mention he is who he is. And I think he's going to get going this week, too, as well. So, man, you guys got to admit, right? Like, Bo Jackson has been the biggest surprise for the offense so far.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's any question that over the course of this year that Bo Jackson's going to see that role increase, DeVier, and he's earning that week after week. We'll see what that means if it's an uptick in production on Saturday against Washington or not. But I know, as you mentioned, 4 is going to be 4, but sometimes that means that Carnell Tate sometimes gets overlooked, and you pointed him out as a first-round draft pick potentially next spring. When you watch him with that trained wide receiver's eye, what is it about his game that impresses you most?
He's a smooth guy, man. Silky smooth route runner. I think he mimics like a Reggie Wayne, Keenan McCardell, and then also guys like he has a little bit of like Marvin Harrison Sr. to him, right? Junior does really.
Well, that's a lot of praise you got going there, DeVier. Those are some big names.
Those are I like to do pro comps. Like I love pro comparables, right? I do. So when I see him, that's who I see. And I think really the ability this year, what he's showing me, is to make those contested 50-50 balls. I mean, I think he's pretty much about, 85, 90%, probably close to 100 on a few of those. So he's showing that he can make those contested catches and then obviously, make those third downs consistently. I mean, he's showing well this season for sure.
Absolutely he is. How much easier, as we check in with DeVier Posey here with us at football practice, coaching some sprints for his kids, how much easier does it make your job, DeVier, as a wide receiver, as a Carnell Tate, as a Jeremiah Smith, Brandon Ennis, whoever you want to put in that Ohio State wide receiver room, to have a unit like the tight ends that are having one hell of a year so far for this team?
Yeah, man. I think for Julian, just in the right, like you can start in protection. Will Kazmarek and the job he's doing, and obviously Max Clare and Jelani Thurman. I mean, those are big dudes. And what they're doing is protecting the quarterback very well when they're in there on those pass protection situations. And then they're getting open and making big plays. And I think for the most part, Keenan Bailey has done a great job. I think this is probably his most talented group. And the best part about him having his most talented group, he recruited all these guys. Yeah. So, it's showing off. It's showing well, and these guys are playing well. And I think for Julian, it's just an added sense of comfort. I mean, you hear that blanket, term, but no, seriously, when you're looking in the middle of the field and bodies are flying and you see like an 80 number and like a lot of big shoulders, it's just a lot of space to throw the ball. So he's been able to definitely use them in that manner this year.
DeVier, we had a chance to talk to Jeremiah Smith coming off the practice field last night, Wednesday at the Woody Hayes Athletic Center, and we asked him, or I asked him, so that there have been some periods against Texas and also again against Ohio where it just looked like on the sideline you look frustrated. It's like, why is that? He's like, I wasn't frustrated. Well, and then he walked it back. He's like, yeah, because I dropped 2 balls against Texas. I dropped a ball against Ohio. He felt like he should have had that fade ball in the red zone. I came away more impressed, like, with his description of what had been frustrating, because he expects perfection, and then that in turn makes him an important leader for this team in a way that maybe we didn't consider, because if he's holding himself to that standard, everybody else has got to match that too.
Yeah, I think him and Caleb Downs bring that on both sides of the ball, right? Like, just both of them raise levels. I mean, anytime you're around greatness, like, you're gonna catch a little bit, like, being what you say, like, you're gonna slip in that drip a little bit,
yeah,
right? Like,
right.
You will, like, and the way that he holds himself to high standards, it's almost like, what the heck was I doing at 19, right? Like, man, like, just the way that he views himself and what he expects. Really why he's getting the results, man. So I love that he's able to call that stuff out. It's almost like LeBron, like photographic memory, right?
Mm-hmm. Hey, before we let you go, what do you got else planned at practice? Like Oklahoma drill, sharks and minnows, anything else fun for them?
Well, no, right now I'm like halfway in between, like, offense install, and then I brought the baby with me, so, like, I'm like on the swing too, and I'm moving. So it's like a true youth practice, all in one.
Dual threat.
Yeah, multitasking. That's what it's like to be a big time coach. Depot, always appreciate the time. Have a great evening, buddy. Thanks a whole lot. Enjoy the game on Saturday, and we'll check in again soon. All right.
Absolutely, guys. Go Bucks. I'll talk to you guys.
There you go. It's our guy, DeVier Posey, with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. If you want to know, and I'm not to that point yet, my kid is not that old.
Yeah.
But if you want to know what being a parent is, it's that.
100%.
It's that.
I mean, and
Just
I've also
chaos.
I've also been not coaching, but I've been in that same spot DeVier's in right now, where you're over there on the swing, or you're trying to, do a radio hit, and 1, 2, 3-year-old, 4-year-old, 8-year-old Liberty still wants to make her voice known on the radio. Yeah. Like, I've been there too.
Yeah, for sure.
He's got thoughts, man.
He does. And he hit it out of the park, as he always does. Multitasking, man. Always love checking in with him. We're going to attempt to answer Austin's question of the day pertaining to the running back rotation. Coming up next, it's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
If you consider yourself a Buckeye fan, you've come to the right place. This is your heritage sports talker and home of Ohio State Athletics, The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Hi, I'm Rick Germain for Toyota West. And with over 600 new and pre-owned vehicles available, Toyota West at I-270 and Georgesville Road has the car you're looking for. And right now at Toyota West, take advantage of 0 down and 0 payments until 2026. And every pre-owned vehicle comes with a 72-hour exchange policy plus a 3-month warranty for qualified vehicles. Come see us at the Germain Auto Mall on Georgesville Road or get started today at ToyotaWest.com. Offer expires 9/30. No payments for deferred payment. Interest accrues at time of inception with approved credit.
Everybody poops. Everybody pees. Mommy, will you call Mr. Rooter, please? 'Cause I gotta poop and I gotta pee. Only Mr. Rooter can clear the drain for me. Thank you, Mr. Rooter.
Hi, everybody. We call it what it is at Mr. Rooter. When you have a plumbing or drain problem, the team at Mr. Rooter is ready 7 days a week. Call us today and take advantage of our $95 drain cleaning special. Visit us at MrRooter.com. We'll be there quick.
Attention, Columbus. Town Properties just clinched the title.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix, guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. And you never compromise your appetite with our golden brown bread that's baked fresh in store. And you never compromise your wallet with our lower prices. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
The Donato's Pep Duo Pizza is back, and it brought a pal. The Donato's Pep Duo, loaded with crispy pepperoni and 3 kinds of cheese. Now get a large Pep Duo pizza for just $14.99. Also back, Donato's deliciously dippable pepperoni cheese bread. Now on the $5 Pizza Pals menu for a limited time. More toppings, more flavor, more fun. Donato's. Gotta love more.
Go behind the scenes of one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of college athletics with a tour of Ohio Stadium presented by Experience Columbus. A seasoned redcoat will be your guide as you make your way through walls of the stadium, into the press box, and onto the field. Upgrade to the VIP package and get special access to the band center and the Ohio State home locker room. From corporate outings and school groups to single-person tours and small families, Ohio Stadium Tours offer a variety of options and pricing. For more information, visit ohiostatebuckeyes.com and book your tour. Ohio Stadium Tours, presented by Experience Columbus.
Other stations in town have started using AI voices. It's because they're cheap and they think you're stupid. Well, we may think you're stupid, but we don't think you're cheap, damn it. We're live and local with real people. The Fan, Ohio's real human destination.
Hey, it's Anthony. Tailgating, hiking stadium stairs, going out after the games. It's a great time of year. It's also the time of year I'm on my feet a lot. And there won't be a time when I don't have my personally fit arch supports from the Good Feet store in my shoes. They make all the difference for me. They help my feet, my hips, my back. They're not just like regular insoles. They're designed so I get firm yet flexible function. They actually correct poor foot biomechanics and give me even more comfort. The fitting process is simple. From the moment you walk in, the Good Feet store will personalize the process. From the pain that brought you to them in the first place to your lifestyle needs. They'll properly measure your feet and arch size. Then take the free test walk. If you love them, wear them home like I did. Your new arch supports will help you begin living the life you love without your feet getting in the way. Just stop by the Good Feet store on Polaris Parkway or Stringtown Road in Grove City and learn more at goodfeet.com.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Accurate Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
It's time for your daily dose of vitamin B. B stands for Buckeyes, just in case that wasn't clear. You're listening to The Buckeye Show.
You know, my guy Austin Ward is going to be taking the Big Bird to Seattle tomorrow. Get the Buckeye game at 3:30 on Saturday against Washington. It's going to be a great time. You can always watch the show on YouTube. You can like and subscribe. Thanks to everybody for hopping in the chat tonight, especially our guy Maddie. It is morning time in Australia, where Maddie is watching from. It is currently Friday morning for him.
Oh, yeah.
He's getting his kids ready for school.
Don't tell us what happens in the rest of Thursday.
Or don't tell us what happens in the Buckeye game.
Good day, mate.
How does that work?
Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, absolutely. Like and subscribe. Then you can go watch the Austin and Berm show as well.
I hope he is. Got, Freaky Friday coming up on the beat tomorrow. Some bold predictions. So check out those. Did 3 things Thursday, of course, on the beat this morning. Got into a lot more numbers talk than we normally would. Yeah. We got to do something different because when you have 2 weeks to go.
Hold on. Let me ask you a quick question. Was it nerd numbers?
Well,
that was nerdy numbers? Are we talking like baseball analytic stats, like football analytic stats? Are we just talking about like yards per game receiving? Are we keeping out of like the super headiness of it?
Well, that would be very uncharacteristic for our show to be nerdy or heady. That would not be what we do. But I thought maybe we would try to find something that was unusual, that was interesting to us, that was maybe a concern for Ohio State. Because a lot of times for 3 Things Thursday, I just don't tell Berm at all what we're going to do. And so he has to, riff and be unprepared, and it's like a pop quiz.
That's how he lives his life anyway.
It is. So I hate it when he asks in advance, like, what do you want to do? And I said, I don't know, because that was the last thing I was considering was planning that show, which we don't ever do. And I was like, I don't know, well, let's pick some numbers that we, because we did last week, and a lot of things that we would normally do on a Thursday is like something that you like, something that you don't like, a concern for this game, whatever, things like that. And, they don't require a ton of prep because we spend every single day of our lives talking about Ohio State football.
Yeah.
But looking for these numbers, that'd be interesting. You got 5 hours until you're going to be down here for practice. Dig into it. And what can you come up with? And then I started, and the first thing he said.
Did you take yours?
No. Anything I said. The number, what's the number? And he said 8.5. So that's the point spread. We all know what it is. That's the number that is on your mind about this team.
So the number on my mind, if I was playing this game, would be 2. The amount of punts that Washington has had this season so far. That would be my number.
Beamer, the options are limitless. You can do anything. Everyone knows what that number is. What can we find that might shine a different light on this matchup, and he kicks it off. And he's the world's worst gambler anyway. And he doesn't know what any of this means and why the line's going up, why the line's going down. And he ended it by saying, well, the line's going down because America hates Ohio State. And I was like, no,
that's not how it
that's
works.
not how any of this works. I said, and then we got to the end, and I said, well, what's your third number? And he's like, what? I said, this is going great. Why do you ask me to ever plan the show? This is the worst one we've done. I mean, I think we still made a good show. And part of the thing is we can riff, and we spend every day talking about Ohio State, and we were able to steer out of the skid there, I think, as well as possible. But I was like, because I was talking about Carnell Tate, and it was a counting stat, but 18.3 yards per catch. I think a lot of people assume that he is just a possession guy, and he's going to move the chains, but he has been so effective,
explosive,
and especially off of these play action passes, which, Ohio State's, I think, at 53% trying to operate and unleash these play action passes downfield. And Carnell has been really, really, really good at it. And the assumption would always be, well, of course, Jeremiah Smith, that's how you use him. He's a deep threat. He's going to put people under duress down the field. It's not just him. And Carnell's averaging 3 more yards per catch as of this moment than Jeremiah,
Look
which
at
is
you and your numbers.
Not something that I envisioned going into the year. So that's the kind of, so they don't even have to be advanced numbers. Sometimes you can just take something that's a counting stat and be like, did you think this was going to happen? No. And then why? Because Carnell's really good at football. That was my explanation.
What about your question of the day? And I'll give you this number, 12.1, which is the yards per carry right now that Bo Jackson has currently on 18 carries. 217 yards for him. Again, 1 touchdown, had that big, nice, long 64-yarder against OU.
That'll goose the average.
Yes, it will. But your question on LettermanRow.com comes from Raleigh Bucks. Said, obviously I'm not Ryan Day, but I think Ohio State should rock with Bo Jackson and James Peoples, rolling C.J. Donaldson for short yardage and passing downs. Feel like that makes your carries a 15-10-5 type split, which are also some good numbers.
Yeah, and I appreciate Raleigh Buck's thoughts on that, and he may well be right. That could be what Ohio State does. I find myself skeptical of that, and I go back to Ryan Day's comments on Tuesday about establishing a rhythm, riding a hot hand, narrowing the focus, and then a lot of drawing back and pointing to the way that they handled Quinshon Judkins and Travion Henderson a year ago. We've seen a number of other years where Ohio State wants to play multiple backs. Yeah. Some have been more successful than others. I think with just maybe a couple games that were outliers when they were trying to rotate J.K. Dobbins and Mike Weber and keep it pretty even, it didn't work. And that would be my concern. And I guess maybe my hesitancy to see Ohio State rotating between all 3 backs with C.J. Donaldson and James Peoples and Bo Jackson. So if I don't think that that's going to happen, the question then becomes which one of those other 2 guys that we thought were going to be at the top of the depth chart, could they give way? Will they give way to Bo Jackson? Because I think that this ascent is not going to slow down. If Bo Jackson is continuing to take care of his business on the practice field, and when he gets the football in his hands in game situations and it stays there, you don't have any of the ball security issues. You don't give up pass protection assignments.
He was electrifying the last time we saw him.
And I know that that's always the conversation. And that reminds me of going back to another year where it was, can you add a third guy into the mix? And could Dallin Hayden do that to electrify the Ohio State ground game? And there were too many concerns from the coaching staff at that point to put him out there to pick up blitzes, to not put the football on the field. And I think
it's a lot coming at you, especially Bo Jackson being a true freshman. We talk about last year and Jeremiah Smith and the incredible season that he had. That is not easy to do, to walk in from high school and then to do it at Ohio State, let alone any other college program. To do that as a freshman, it's not easy.
No, it's not. And it's not normal for someone to do it the way that Jeremiah Smith did, or even what Devin Sanchez has done through 3 games, getting involved and playing right away at cornerback against Texas. And, maybe Bo Jackson is going to continue to put himself in that same discussion for instant impact first-year players. We'll see. I think we can all, and Ryan Day's acknowledged this, and his vote and Carlos Laughlin's vote are the only ones that matter. But he said the same thing, 2 weeks running. We can all see what you see. There's the other part that we don't see, which is the practice habits and all those things. But it sounds like all of that is trending in the same positive direction for Bo Jackson. And if that continues, then what does that mean for C.J. Donaldson and James Peoples? And the notion there was that well, James Peoples could be that second back and rotate with Bo Jackson. I don't think that. And I think it's some of this conversation that I've seen elsewhere, whether that's Letterman Row, whether that is you, me, whether that's the Austin and Berm show, whatever, is the comments that we see is, well, C.J. Donaldson should just be the short yardage guy. He's a red zone threat. He can be the third down back. That's, to my understanding, that is not how Ohio State views him. He was the starting tailback and had twice as many carries as James Peoples for a reason against Texas. And no, we haven't.
The notion that he's a hammer guy, right?
And that's not it. I don't think that's, and we've seen opportunities for him out of the backfield as a receiving threat. He could have had 2 touchdowns in that regard against Ohio 2 weeks ago. Maybe we wouldn't be having this conversation at all if on the first one Julian Sayin threw his way, and on the second one he hadn't stepped out of bounds going into the end zone. That would have maybe changed that discussion and perception about C.J. Donaldson dramatically. I don't know, and it doesn't matter. I think the notion that, and Ryan Day's brought up wanting that explosiveness from the ground game, and maybe we don't ever see a ton of 64-yard carries from C.J. Donaldson. But he has not been one.
Again, not easy thing to do.
Not easy to do that. But it's not been a carry for 1 yard or stuffed at the line of scrimmage, and the next one is for 20, and that's how you get this yards per carry for C.J. Donaldson. He's getting 5, 6, 7 yards every single time he's getting it, and that's not to be taken for granted. So I still believe on Saturday at 12:30 Pacific time that C.J. Donaldson will get the first carry, and I think by and large he'll get the most carries in this game. And if I'm wrong about that, that's probably going to have more to do with the rise of Bo Jackson than anything else.
Yeah, I think that's fair, right? But also knowing the test, knowing it's a road game, knowing it's going to be a raucous environment, maybe you want to lean a little bit more on your veterans.
He's not done this for Ohio State, but he's done this in Power 4 games. He's done it in very hostile stadiums across the Big 12 when he was at West Virginia. None of this stuff is going to be new to him. Now, it is new where he's doing it. Not been out to Washington. He's only in Game 4 still for Ohio State. But in the body of work and the calluses that have been built up, C.J. Donaldson still has more of those than those other 2 guys. And I think that's probably where they'll elect to cast their lot against the Huskies.
Got a handful of coaches fired already this season. Who's up next on the hot seat? We'll tell you that. Go over that in the Pulse coming up next. It's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
The 2 most mature people working at the radio station. And that's just because they wear pants.
The pervert and the skivvies.
Rothman and Ice.
Weekdays at noon.
The Fan.
He's at the 10, the 5, touchdown! This is what the Buckeyes train so hard for.
Just like Valvoline Instant Oil Change, their techs train like pros to deliver expert service every time.
Wait, are we talking about football or oil changes?
Both. Whether it's the Buckeyes on the field or your car in the bay, it's all about preparation and precision.
Can't argue with that.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Visit VIOC.com/Buckeyes today.
Don't miss the Right Rug Flooring Outlet Super Sale. Save up to 80% on truckloads of floors and more, including tile starting at 19 cents a square foot, and a massive selection of carpet, luxury vinyl, laminate, and hardwood, even installation supplies. Everything you need for your next project. Save up to 80% during the Right Rug Flooring Outlet Super Sale on Poth Road in Whitehall. Hurry, the Outlet Super Sale ends September 30th. Dealers welcome.
Buckeye fans, this is for you. Level up with the brand new AAA Buckeyes MVP membership. You'll receive all the benefits of AAA, such as 24/7 roadside assistance, plus chances to win tickets to Ohio State sporting events, access to exclusive MVP experiences, along with 10% off select gear at the Ohio State Team Shop. Already a AAA member? Add the Buckeyes MVP membership for free. Head to AAA.com/Buckeyes to upgrade or join the squad and put your fandom in drive.
Experience Buckeye game day like never before. Welcome to the 1922 Club, the most exclusive space inside Ohio Stadium, where luxury meets tradition in the heart of Buckeye Nation. Enjoy upscale food and beverages and a game day atmosphere like no other. Create lasting memories with friends and mingling with other Buckeye fans, and celebrate every OHIO in ultimate comfort. Become a member of the 1922 Club today. Memberships are limited. Visit OhioStateBuckeyes.com.
Hey, Buckeye fans. As the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics, Roosters is kicking off an incredible giveaway you won't want to miss. This football season, we're giving away 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences. 3 drawings, 12 winners with prizes including tickets, sideline passes, and 3 trips to a Buckeye first-round postseason game. Go to roosterswings.com to register and see all the details. 3 drawings, 12 amazing prizes. Register today and every day. Roosters, a fun, casual joint.
Cover more ground and get more savings on the fast, durable Kubota Sidekick. Gas-powered with a top speed of 40 miles per hour and outstanding acceleration and handling with cargo. All backed by a 2-year, 1,000-hour warranty. Visit your Kubota dealer and get the Kubota Sidekick for 0 down, 2.99% APR for up to 48 months and save up to $300. Now through September 30th. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Visit BuckeyeKubotaDealers.com to find a dealer near you.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus, The Fan.
I'm Dave Puderball with your sports update. Afternoon baseball down in Cincinnati saw the Reds keep their playoff hopes alive, beating the Pirates by a score of 2-1. Nick Lodolo went 6 1/3 scoreless innings in the win. The Reds offense scored both runs in the 5th on a Gavin Lux RBI single and TJ Friedl scoring on a throwing error. They just got started up in Cleveland as the AL Central leading Guardians wrap up their series against the Detroit Tigers, hoping to extend their division lead with 4 games to go. The Guardians have won 6 straight at home. Parker Messick taking on the Tigers' Troy Melton. In NFL news, former Buckeye Justin Fields returned to the practice field today, hoping to return from concussion protocol prior to Monday night's game against the Dolphins. He's been out since week 2. Tonight in the NFL, it's Seattle traveling to Arizona to take on former Buckeye Marvin Harrison and the Cardinals. And it's travel day for the Ohio State Buckeyes as they head out west and take on the Washington Huskies. Coach Ryan Day said that's the best way to go, hoping to get the team acclimated to the West Coast. They face off with the Huskies Saturday at 3:30 Eastern. Breaking sports news, what happens to the fan?
It's time for the College Football Pulse on the Buckeye Show.
Sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Hour number 2 of the program for us here on a lovely little Thursday. Very Seattle-like today. Bobby's going to join us coming up here at 7:30. The General. Talk all things. Got 2 dudes on tonight's show that are out coaching our youth.
The future's in good hands.
Yes, it is. By the way, a little update for you. Guardians down 2-0. Actually make that 3.
That looks like 3-0.
That is 3, and the TV screen is like half blocked because it says game search hasn't found your program, and it's blacked out in this area. But it is currently 3-0 in favor of the Detroit Tigers. Reds won today. Berm's very happy. They're still alive. They're still alive. But they lost to the lowly, lost the series to the lowly Pirates.
Did you take your own advice earlier in the week? Just bet on the Pirates every night?
I did.
Did you? All right.
I took them I didn't take them today, but I took them, when would that have been? Tuesday and Wednesday? Yeah. I did.
Berm was taking the same approach. There's something about you Reds fans. I'm trying to buy your happiness.
I'm going to pay my way into maybe a playoffs appearance.
We know how this ends.
Yeah, it's not going to end great. We're going to Milwaukee tomorrow to take on the Brew Crew.
They don't have anything to play for.
Go Cubs, go tonight. Let's go. Let's get a victory. The Mets send their highest payroll in baseball home sad, which objectively would be the funniest outcome of this entire thing, the Mets missing the playoffs.
There's no doubt about that.
Also the Tigers, but who knows what's going to happen in that game. Long way to go.
Sure is.
Nate?
It's 3-0.
Yeah, long way to go. That's what I said. Nate, what do you got for us tonight, buddy?
Well, there have already been a couple of firings going on. Of course, Mike Gundy, the latest one. The question, of course, becomes who is next? Online the site Sports List has the top 6 of them listed. Billy Napier is plus 150. Sam Pittman of Arkansas plus 225. Luke Fickell, sadly, at plus 600. Of course, Scott Satterfield, Tony Elliott, and David Braun also on the list.
Yeah, I love these emails that I get from my guy Josh Barton, sportsbetting.ag. And they come
I bet his computer's just constantly smoking.
Yeah, it's just doing hot seats. Next coach is fired. Clemson replacement odds, like all kinds of stuff coming from them. Of the coaches that have already been fired so far in college football, and you and I think talked about it a little bit last week, Austin, with Deshaun Foster going away, and then why am I blanking on Virginia Tech's coach Brent Pry, him being fired.
Virginia Tech.
Yeah, him being fired as well. and how you're going to start to see this more and more in college football, where the firing cycling is going to move up in the season.
I didn't think it would move up this far. It's crazy.
I mean, we've had 3, right? That's the number? 3 guys so far?
Yeah.
Fired.
Well, Stanford also preemptively fired.
Yeah, they did.
And they have an interim
but then
coach.
They brought in Andrew Luck as their GM.
They have Frank Reich for 1 year. They've said that's an interim situation. So there are 4 jobs, like Power 4-ish jobs already available.
Which is pretty wild.
Which is insane.
We haven't even gotten to October yet. It's the first month of the season. Billy Napier, it's not looking good down in Gatorland for them.
No, he's gone.
Yeah.
That's
Sam Pittman gone too? Go Hogs.
He's got a chance to turn that narrative coming in 48 hours. I mean, that might be it. That might be the deciding factor. And I think they've got a decent chance of winning that game.
Against Notre Dame?
Yeah.
Ooh.
I think that's possible.
Hot seat alert? Not hot seat
For
alert.
Marcus? I don't think Marcus Freeman's
What's the spread on that? No, I don't either. What's the spread on that game? Arkansas and Notre Dame. I'd imagine that Notre Dame would have to be favored in that one.
I haven't looked. I'm not a big gambler, Beam.
Okay.
Those things aren't important to me. Except I would take the Arkansas money line.
I find it interesting that Dabo is tied with David Braun of Northwestern in the odds to be fired. I don't know. If you're Clemson, I really don't know what you do with Dabo, right? Like, he built that program into what it is on a couple of national championships. They made a college football playoff last year after looking like turds at the beginning part of the year. It was a great comeback for them. This year, it's not going fantastic. Like, we know that. He got emotional in a press conference talking about whatever and their losses.
I missed my weekly Clemson is crap comment this week.
Yeah, you did. You can do it right now.
You have an opinion on Clemson?
They're bad.
Yes, they are. But I don't know. The athletic director down there at Clemson, boosters, board members, that would not be those would not be fun conversations to have.
Well, look, I don't care for Dabo's shtick. I've made that very clear on the Buckeye show. I've spent too many times listening to him in press conferences. He's not going to get fired. Period. Not only is he not going to be the next head coach to get fired, being on this list seems ludicrous to me. Clemson is not going to fire him. He has done far too much for that program for that to be an in-season situation.
Tyler.
And it's probably not going to be one at the end of the season. They're going to give Dabo every opportunity to turn that around until it's clear that it's impossible for that. He has. You cannot take it away from him. They're going to put a statue of him in front of the stadium out there, probably right next to the rock.
Yeah.
They let him go touch Dabo's hat on the way out to the field. And I don't care for it. I enjoy watching Clemson be in misery, but he's not going to get fired. Billy Napier is going to be fired probably on Sunday.
I will say, for one of the coaches on this list, I have to watch every Big Ten press conference every week for audio, and I constantly have to be reminded David Braun is Northwestern's head coach.
Well, not for long.
That's never a good sign.
Who's your least favorite coach to cut up, Nate? Because I did that many years ago, where you would just sit there and slog through press conferences and coaches. By far and away, my least favorite coach to cut up audio from was James Franklin.
He's really bad at it.
Every week, I'm like, I just can't listen.
Say something and stop commenting on people's haircuts.
Yes, quit it. And I hate the fact that James Franklin, and I don't know if this has changed for Penn State this year.
It hasn't. Or
it probably hasn't. You're right. The fact that he treats big games, and they got a massive one coming up here. You got whiteout conditions. You got Oregon traveling cross country. It's going to be a night game. Penn State, Happy Valley's going to be raucous on Saturday night. And I haven't listened to James Franklin's press conference, so maybe he's changed his tune a little bit, but I doubt it, that he treats every game the same. Don't do that. Don't treat every game the same.
Well, the thing about James Franklin that I think you have to remember is that he is an absolute clown. So he only knows one way to entertain, and that's repeating the program that he's playing over and over and over, no matter who it is. He's a one-trick pony and a used car salesman and a big game fraud. So I don't think you forgot that. I'm just going to keep reiterating it until you remember.
PJ Fleck was also one of my favorites every week to cut up.
Now that's,
at least you knew you were getting something out of him.
Now that's someone who can change gears.
Yeah. I constantly changes gears.
Once wrote a story about all of his terminology and the
row the boat.
I was at ESPN.
Horseshoe, Broncos foot. Horseshoe, Broncos foot. Remember that when they came in here from Western Michigan before he got the Minnesota job?
Yes. He's a character. And I was working on this story, and it's like, the players were telling me, like, well, the first day of spring camp, he like hands you this dictionary, whatever he called it. I don't.
Thesaurus?
No, it explained what all the terminology meant. And he would
lexicon?
give them, and he would give them quizzes on it, and then he would just be inventing new ones as the season went along.
So
was he
Schlegs?
I think that Schlegs and PJ Fleck had a little bit of crossover when Fleck was working with tight ends at Ohio State. I think they were there may have been some of that cross-pollination with their brains going on at some point.
Who has more phrases, PJ Fleck or Anthony Schlegel? That should be the fan poll for tomorrow.
That should be. I really can't pick a winner.
I can't either.
We all win.
Yeah, we do. And they create new phrases seemingly every day. Nate, I think we got time for one more here.
Well, speaking of, coaches being fired, Urban Meyer was on the Triple Option podcast this week talking about Luke Fickell. He said, I'm worried about this one, but I'll say this again, Wisconsin doesn't have the money to fire him.
Yeah, I mean, they also gave him that contract extension at the beginning of the year. Now, listen, I understand that their season has not gone according to plan, right?
I think it has, which is why he got the extension.
Oh, so
to protect
you're
him.
saying that the boosters and everyone up there in Badgerland said, we kind of know what's coming down the pipe here. It's going to be a couple of years.
That's what I think.
This.
I may be wrong.
Here's the thing, though. You can't lose to Maryland at home.
I didn't think they'd be this bad.
You can't lose to Maryland at home. You can't do it. You're Wisconsin. You are Wisconsin football. Maryland football is Maryland football. You cannot lose that game. You just can't.
I don't disagree with any part of that. And I'm not saying that on merit, Luke Fickell has done anything near what any of the three of us would have envisioned when he left Cincinnati for Wisconsin. Not anywhere near what the Wisconsin fan base expects. On merit, 100%, you could say this person, Luke Fickell, has not met the standard and needs to go. But he made a massive mistake when he got there by trying to install the air raid. He's trying to dig out of that hole right now, and I think there is still enough belief in that athletic department that Luke Fickell is the right person to lead their program, that they're going to give him more than 1 year to fix that offensive problem and get to next season. And I think that's what the extension was designed for. If they decide to reverse course, which would be the way I view it, and say this is untenable now, they looked at the schedule. They knew what the month of October was going to look like for the Badgers.
Yeah, I mean, they got Michigan coming up here in a couple of weeks. They're on their off week this week. So they got Michigan on the road at the Big House. This is their next 4 games, by the way, okay?
It's a gauntlet.
At Michigan, coming up next weekend. Home against Iowa, which is always going to be a low-scoring affair, which is great. That's a fantastic Big Ten matchup. Home against Ohio State, and then on the road in Autzen against Oregon. That is a monster.
But they didn't.
You just lost to Maryland at home, 27-10.
They didn't just get that schedule handed to them in August, you know. So
they've had it.
That was on the table for the athletic department when they made this decision. And they were looking at it, and sure, they thought there might have been a path to 6-6 that would have involved beating Maryland at Camp Randall. They lost by 17, which I get is
the end of their schedule is tough.
What?
Washington at the Quarry against the Hoosiers, and then their second to last game is Illinois, who got absolutely hammered last week by Indiana, and then on the road in the Twin Cities to take on PJ Fleck and the Gophers.
Yeah, and that's my point. Your best case,
where's 2 more wins coming from?
Your best case scenario was going 6-6. Period. Everyone was aware of that. Like that was at the start of the year, and they're not going to go 6-6 against that schedule now. That math included Maryland, and that game's gone. Not getting that part back.
Yeah, the over/under for me of 8.5 for South Carolina. That's gone too. Nobody's getting that one back.
You're still alive.
Caleb Downs, he takes pride. Let's just change subjects.
All right.
But Caleb Downs takes pride in growing as a player. And you know what? He's bringing others alongside of him. You're going to hear from him and some Buckeyes coming up next. It's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
The only workplace in America to participate in the Doorknob Fart Game. And we also play office basketball and sometimes do radio. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
At Kroger Pharmacy, we make it easy to get flu, COVID, and RSV vaccines. They're available at no cost to you with most insurance plans, no appointment needed. And we're open weekdays, weeknights, and weekends. So come and visit us when it's most convenient for you. Kroger Health, a world of care is in store. Vaccines subject to availability. No cost to you with most insurance plans. Check with your plan for eligibility. Restrictions and exclusions may apply. See site for details.
Hey, it's Timmy Hall, and it's party time, baby, because the Grove City Smokin' Hot Wing and Music Fest is back Saturday, October 4th at American Nitro. From noon to 9, you get wings, beer, live music, football on the big screen, and more. Don't miss the wing eating and bobbing for wings contest either. Ooh, veterans, military, and kids under 12 get in free. Get the tickets at americannitro.com/wingfest. Presented to you by The Fan, Columbus Chamber, Brex Paving, Darby Dental, and Equipment Rental. Wingfest 2025, the ultimate fall kickoff. Don't miss it.
Come on over to Heartland and join our family.
Now, getting ahead in this world is not as complicated as it might seem. Having the early guidance and counsel of your community banker, one who knows you and your family's story, can make a great deal of difference. Relationships matter. Bank on community banking. I'm Scott McComb. Coming over to Heartland, where banking really feels good.
Where banking feels good.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Go behind the scenes of one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of college athletics with a tour of Ohio Stadium, presented by Experience Columbus. A seasoned redcoat will be your guide as you make your way through walls of the stadium, into the press box, and onto the field. Upgrade to the VIP package and get special access to the band center and the Ohio State home locker room. From corporate outings and school groups to single-person tours and small families, Ohio Stadium tours offer a variety of options and pricing. For more information, visit ohiostatebuckeyes.com and book your tour. Ohio Stadium Tours, presented by Experience Columbus.
Hey, Ohio State fans. Next time that snack craving hits, Burger King has you covered with the O-Fry-O bundle. You get a medium fry, 8-piece chicken fries, 8-piece mozzarella fries, and an 8-piece chicken nuggets, all for just $10. It's perfect snack fuel for one, wherever and whenever you're cheering on the scarlet and gray. At BK, have it your way. You rule. Limited time only at participating Ohio area restaurants. BK is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Tax extra.
This is Paul Keels for RV Wholesalers. Peace of mind. That's what you get when purchasing your next RV from RV Wholesalers. With every new RV purchase, Ohio residents receive the exclusive Buckeye Service Guarantee. If your RV is in the shop, RV Wholesalers will give you a free loaner. Also with a Buckeye Service Guarantee, you'll receive free delivery in the state of Ohio and 3-day RV exchange. That's the exclusive Buckeye Service Guarantee. Only at RV Wholesalers in Lakeview, Mansfield, Delaware, and RVW.com. RV Wholesalers, a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Other stations have crappy ratings and they wonder why no one listens. So instead of investing money in local talent, they fire people and plug in AI voices. Gee, real entertainment. Well, all of our dummies are real, damn it. The Fan, Ohio's real human destination.
Hey, Buckeyes, I'm John Chabot with Surest, a digital-first health plan designed to make healthcare simple and affordable right here in Ohio. At Surest, we believe healthy small businesses are vital to our economy. That's why we're ready to give your small business a VIP opportunity through our Small Business Sweepstakes. Winners will be recognized on the sideline at an Ohio State home football game. To enter, visit ohiostatebuckeyes.com/Surest. That's SUREST. Surest, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Experience Buckeye game day like never before. Welcome to the 1922 Club, the most exclusive space inside Ohio Stadium, where luxury meets tradition in the heart of Buckeye Nation. Enjoy upscale food and beverages and a game day atmosphere like no other. Create lasting memories with friends and mingling with other Buckeye fans, and celebrate every OHIO in ultimate comfort. Become a member of the 1922 Club today. Memberships are limited. Visit ohiostatebuckeyes.com.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Plenty of clouds around on this Thursday. Some scattered showers and maybe a rumble of thunder. Temperatures in the mid-70s. Down to the upper 50s by Friday morning with mainly clear skies and some patchy fog. More sunshine than clouds and warmer on Friday with temperatures back in the upper 70s. With your 10 weather impact forecast, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jerry Martz on The Fan.
The only radio show that bleeds scarlet and gray. This is the Buckeye Show.
Friday nights, high school football. The Capital Ford of Columbus high school football game of the week.
What about Thursday nights?
Takes us to Hilliard. I'll do that in a second. Takes us tomorrow night out to Hilliard as 4-1 Davidson battles undefeated Olentangy Orange. Coverage is going to start at 6:30. We got the kickoff at 7. Then after the game, It's the Byers Dublin Subaru Overtime with Ryan Baker and Lee Cochran. Friday nights are for high school football right here on the Fan. So are Thursday nights in the Fan studios because for whatever reason, our TVs work sometimes. They don't work. Like one, I usually have the NFL Network on, and then it's something else that's just going on. You know, whatever. A live sport is always on the other TV. The baseball stations are not working. So the Guards and the Tigers, it just for whatever reason, can't pull it up. Since it's blacked out in your area, I'm like, it's a local channel and we have the baseball pass. Like, we should be able to get this. So instead, we are currently watching, I don't even remember the other team, Austin, but this has to be a replay of two high school football teams. One of it is Archbishop Spalding. They were 8-0, so it's a replay of last year's game against, I don't know, Calvert Hall or something like that.
That sounds right.
We were just having a great guessing game. Like, where in the world do you think that these high school football teams are located at?
Yeah, we're not even watching Ohio high school football from last year. No. We're watching Massachusetts.
It's not Massachusetts. It's Baltimore.
Oh, Baltimore, you said. I thought
because we guessed. I said, I'm going with Louisiana, and you said Massachusetts, and they ended up being a team from Baltimore.
It did say that.
Yeah.
For some reason, I also thought you said Boston, and I was like, well, wow, what a turn of events.
Yeah, really on the nose there. So you'll never find two bigger fans of Archbishop Spalding than Austin and I.
Spalding football is elite.
Just beat Calvert Hall 56-14.
It's a factory, man.
Just like a war drum.
I mean, what a squad.
God. Hopefully they win it all this year.
They will. Who's going to beat them? Look at that schedule.
Yeah, they haven't got beat.
You see someone that's going to beat Spalding on that schedule?
Well, they're actually 3-2 this year.
They're not going to lose again.
Those two.
Yeah, those two. Those don't matter.
Those were out of state games.
Brownsburg got jobbed. Those refs in week number 1.
That was absurd.
And then lost 35-28 in a heartbreaker against Hun. We'll see you in the playoffs.
Oh, rematch city. Try beating them twice.
Carp's going to join us coming up here at 7:30 live from youth practice, which is always going to be fun. Good to talk to him about Buckeyes against the Huskies coming up here on Saturday. What did you take away from player availability last night over at the Woody, Austin?
Yeah, really enjoyed that conversation with Jeremiah Smith. We talked to DeVier Posey about that in hour number 1 of the Buckeye show. Just about how he had been showing a little bit of frustration on the sideline and what was, the impetus for that. What emotions was he dealing with? He was just like saying he's frustrated with the drops. It was all about himself. It wasn't like demanding more targets his way. He's been getting plenty of them. It wasn't, demanding that he needed more opportunities or that there was something wrong with the offense. So he said when they weren't finishing drives in the red zone, that gets to him. He's a key cog of this. He's a key leader for this offense. And when they're settling for field goals and they were not executing at the level that they expect against Ohio, he did have something to say about that. But, he could also point to himself, which is what he did. So there was that fade throw down there that it was a tough catch, but Jeremiah Smith makes tough catches look routine, and he was demanding of himself that he make that play for Julian Sayin, and he didn't. So he was, looking at these 3 drops in the first 3 games, it's out of character for him, and he's taking ownership of that. And I think if you're looking at Saturday's matchup, and there's been some conversation about, the height and physicality of Washington's cornerbacks. Got a couple guys 6'3", 6'4",
like to play man,
lengthy guys that are going to play man coverage. If you see a motivated, angry Jeremiah Smith, I wouldn't think that that's good for anybody. There's not going to be defensive
Remember the whole noise around Oregon last year, going back to the Rose Bowl for that matchup, and remember that?
What happened then?
Remember that whole conversation about man defense and
you look at Ryan Walters. That's what he plays. They've almost exclusively been in that in these first 3 games. Now, part of that, again, is because they played Colorado State and Washington State in an FCS school. I wouldn't imagine that Washington would want to just go out there and play straight-up man coverage against Carnell Tate and Jeremiah Smith. That sounds like a long day. I wouldn't do that.
I don't know how you defend that, especially with the emergence of these tight ends, too, this year. Good luck. Have fun.
Yeah, that's the part. You're going to, at some point, you're going to have to give help on Jeremiah Smith and or Carnell Tate. And the second that you do is the second that Brandon Ennis and Max Clare and Will Kazmarek start absolutely carving you up in the middle of the field.
What about Caleb Downs? Let's hear from him, shall we? And I thought this was a really good one from Caleb And we know everything that he does on Saturdays. You watch him prowl from 2 yards away from the line of scrimmage to 20 yards away, wherever he wants to be at, wherever they want to put him at. He said, I'm good, coach. Don't you worry about me. I'll be just fine. But what about his film habits and how much he enjoys just grinding over tape?
No, I mean, that's part of the thing that I pride myself on. And, yeah, that's fun to me. Being able to understand football is something that I think I've been able to do since been at a young age. So, yeah, that's fun to me for sure, especially hearing it from different perspectives like Coach G, Coach Walt, Coach Patricia, being able to compare, see what everybody thinks. And, I mean, if you don't like to do it, then, yeah, it's still our job. It's what we have to do, and there's no other way to get around that.
Even if you don't like to do it, unlike me, which I love to do it, I think football is very fun, sir. Even if you don't, you still got to do it, even though you may not like it. And Austin, you give his raw athletic ability, the skill that he has with what he is able to do and be a chameleon on that backside of that defense and plug and play kind of wherever he wants to. You add that in with his work ethic, his leadership, and also his characteristics and traits of watching film and breaking it down.
Yeah.
That's a scary player, man.
It is scary. But the last thing you said is important. Player.
Mm-hmm.
There has been this, I don't know, because Davis and Igbinosun made a comment going into the season. I call him Coach Downs.
Yeah, Coach Downs.
And he does have the ability to be a coach on the field, but there has been this rush to just like jump in with both feet. It's like, well, Matt Patricia can just let Caleb Downs call it out there. And Caleb has, I think, been pushing back against that himself for good reason. He doesn't put himself above any of the rest of his teammates. He's a leader. He's a tone setter. He's critical for the Ohio State defense. All those things are true. But he is not out there as this do-it-all safety to give feedback to Matt Patricia about what defense they should be in or how Caleb Downs thinks that he should be used to stop an opponent. I think it wrapped up last night on Wednesday at the Woody, and it was like, you're that coach on the field, and like, are you kindred spirits with Matt Patricia? And Caleb just kind of looked around and he's like, am I kindred spirits with Matt?
What a weird question.
Me and, that bearded guy who's the coordinator. And no, I don't think he's like we don't have that much in common. Yes, they love defensive football. They see it similarly, but one is the coach and one is the player. And I think Caleb Downs is uncomfortable with this notion that he knows as much football as Matt Patricia.
Yeah, I don't think there are many people walking planet Earth that know as much football as Matt Patricia.
No. Now, Caleb Downs knows more than most humans walking.
Yes, and he also knows probably more than most college players at this time.
And he can help a lot of those younger teammates, and he can help and make adjustments on the field for Ohio State. That's what makes him so valuable. But I don't believe that Caleb Downs views himself as knowing everything there is to know about playing defensive. Yeah, you can adjust, and you can be a bandit, and you can do all that stuff. Caleb Downs can do whatever you ask him to do. He can bullet. If that's a real thing, he can do that too. He could be a Jack. He could be a Leo. He could do any other name that you want to come up. He could be a star. He could be a Patriot. He could be whatever. Yeah. But he doesn't view himself as knowing everything, which is why he's spending all that time studying film, which is why he's spending extra hours with Matt Guerreri and Tim Walton and Matt Patricia and talking about defensive schemes and understanding how they're going to attack opposing teams. He's still learning about the game. He's not sitting down in the defensive staff room saying, this is what we need to run over here, Matt Patricia.
He's still a sponge.
He's learning all of that stuff. So let's cool it with the Coach Down stuff.
I don't know. He said he loved watching
Beamer,
film.
let's cool it on it.
Let's just keep talking about it. Carp, he's going to join us. We'll preview
Coach
Washington. Carp. He knows some ball, too. He's going to join us coming up here in 2 minutes. It's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
Let's go! Fox Tonight takes you to hell and back. Speed up! Yes, yes! First, don't miss an all-new season of Hell's Kitchen. And for the first time ever, it's a battle of the states. Cook with pride! Then, Olympic gold medalist Shawn Johnson.
Ready?
Jump! Actor Jussie Smollett. You got this. TV personality Teresa Giudice and more. I can't breathe! Take on Special Forces' world's toughest test.
One of us has to stay calm.
Tonight, starting at 8 on Fox 28.
At the end of the day, the sun sets on Central Ohio, but stories are still unfolding.
Every voice, every neighborhood, every question that still needs answers. Fox 28 News at 10 is there in the quiet moments and at the turning points. Digging deeper, finding solutions, lifting up the communities that shape who we are. At the end of the day, you deserve a team that's on your side. Fox 28 News at 10, always on your side.
Hi, I'm Archie Griffin, two-time Heisman Trophy winner. The right coverage can be a game changer, both on and off the field. That's why Encova Insurance is prepared for what's next and protects what matters most to you. With independent insurance agents in your neighborhood and innovative insurance products that can be tailored to fit your unique needs, Encova Insurance is an easy win for your peace of mind. For auto, home, and business insurance, you want Encova on your team. Visit Encova.com today to find an agent near you.
When it comes to trucks, Toyota gives you the power of choice. Now through September 30th, get 1.75 APR financing or $3,000 customer cash on a powerful new 25 Tundra. Excludes TRD Pro. Or you can lease a 25 Tundra SR Crewmax for $409 a month for 36 months with $39.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS. Tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
The Buckeye Show is sponsored by CareSource, proud to be your home for Ohio State athletics. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Someone out there probably thinks we spend too much time talking about the Buckeyes. Please tell someone that they're stupid. You're listening to the Buckeye Show.
Efforting Carp, as he's calling in actually right now. What a good lad he is. I knew he was just finishing up practice. Right?
It's got to stay focused.
Breaking the huddle. I don't know if they're doing OSU drills, what they're doing, but right now we do head out to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline, checking with our guy. Carp, what's happening? How was practice tonight? Did you have your boys doing up downs? What was the situation? What were we working on?
Hello.
Yo, gotcha.
Sorry about that.
No, you're good. What was the situation at practice tonight? What were we working on?
Oh, goodness. Sorry. Well, I was in the midst of getting bags back and then my Bluetooth not picking up. Listen, man, we're playing a team that goes on two a lot.
Ooh.
So the D line, we got to lock in. Move on movement, watch the football, and be ready to go. So, it's no different than the Buckeyes this week out there going to Husky Stadium, which is one of the most picturesque, beautiful stadiums you will find, but it is loud as heck. And it's one thing, you got a young quarterback, which, listen, it's his first start on the road for Mr. Sayan. But the good news is you have a very veteran offensive line and a lot of guys that have played a ton of football up there, a lot of big game football on the road, big environments. The Cotton Bowl last year, which was basically a road game, and having a center like Carson Hinsman, who's in his third year now as a starter, I would rather have an experienced offensive line and a young quarterback than a veteran quarterback and a young offensive line.
Bob, you've played in these games before, right? I mean, it's going to be a fantastic environment out in Seattle at 3:30 our time, 12:30 their time in the Pacific Northwest. From an offensive perspective, when you have to go silent, right? I know that they just came out with helmet comms in college football last year, and that was a big adjustment. What's that like for an offense if they get to a place where they can't hear anything? Because I know that ever since Julian's been in school, he's had the headset, he's got helmet comms. If those go down or that's going to be rendered useless on the field, how confident are you if they do have to go silent and if he's got to get the plays from hand calls on the side?
So the good news is a lot of these guys, they've grown up doing this their whole life, getting signals and doing that. I will say this, all those guys last year were at Penn State and Beamer. You've been to Beaver Stadium for the whiteout. I
sure have.
I understand that they've got the whiteout against Oregon tomorrow. The last thing you can do is get behind those games, get in a chase game, and give the crowd something to cheer about. And last year, the defense gives up a decent drive, ends in a field goal, and then Will Howard on the first third down or second down gives up that pick six.
Yeah, boomerang. Boom.
It's worst case scenario. You're down 10 points. You've basically given their fans a shot of Charlie Sheen, 7-gram crack rock. They're rolling like nothing is going to stop them. And I'm like, this is awful. And you know what? Those guys all experienced it. So I know Husky Stadium is loud. I can't imagine it being any louder than the Beeve at that point in time. So all those guys were there for it. They've been a part of it. They've gone through it. And so once you've kind of experienced it, it's not that overwhelming anymore. And so even though Julian didn't play in it, that's why a lot of coaches love traveling their young quarterbacks, not because they're going to put them in the game, but because you need to understand the intensity of what this situation is. And so they got a little taste of it. So they have to go silent count. That's great. The one thing that's really good is that this team, they can run the ball, but they can also go some tempo. And so when you go tempo, once you get that first down, you can start moving the ball a little bit, and then that also takes the crowd out of the game, and it takes away any of that noise advantage.
Man, the way I kind of think about it, and forget about how important that bounce back drive was for Will Howard at Penn State, one of the most important drives of the season after that pick six, Bob. But a good thing to bring back up. When you look at this game, I tried to get a little crash course from Matt Patricia last night after practice, Bob, and not for the game plan, but like just the idea of how you spy, if you spy a quarterback like Damon Williams. You've been in situations like this before, and you've seen dual threat quarterbacks. What's the key to slowing him down, and who is best suited to do that on this Ohio State defense?
So I think there's three ways that you do it when you talk about a quarterback like him. The first way that everybody always talks about is your traditional spy. And the good thing is you have three adept linebackers in Sonny, Peyton, and Arvell that can all really run, especially with Vel and Peyton and Sonny. They're long guys. Now, talking with Sonny this week, he's like, I got to get lower on my tackles. I was like, no crap you do, because this dude's listed at 5'11". Yeah. And I'm going to be honest with you, Beam. Has anybody at 5'11" ever listed themselves at 5'11"?
I don't think so. No, that's a little boost, I think.
Yeah, so if you're listed at 5'11", probably 5'9.5", maybe 5'10". All right, so he can run under you, but you can lose him. He can't. They don't throw the ball really in the middle of the field in the intermediate and short because he can't see. So, number one, you can have those spies, what you typically do. And they can do a three-man rush, maybe a four, but a lot of three, move guys around. And you've got those dudes that are like heat-seeking missiles that are long and fast. And that's one thing Washington State didn't have. They don't have those type of players that can go hawk him down like Terminator. I mean, that's what we got going on right there. Those guys are just, they got the red eye and they just find you. So you got that. The second thing is you can go traditional pass rush, normal four guys, and then run a lot of zone behind it. So you have your guys always having eyes back. So if he does break the pocket, you can have guys that converge on him quickly. Two or three guys can bracket him up. And then the last way is you fill up all the rush lanes. You rush 5 or 6 guys. He's not that tall. You make sure you have contain, and you just collapse the pocket within him, kind of like, a black hole. Just when a star implodes, being just sucks right in there, kind of like Matthew McConaughey trapped behind the bookshelf in Interstellar. Like, that's what you can do. You put him in that little wormhole, and he can't get out of there because he can't see.
Murph. That's what hopefully Damon Williams is going to be saying on Saturdays. We got Carp with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Bob, how important is lane assignment and just being able to not get a little bit too greedy when you're coming off of the edge and keeping everything in front of you from a defensive line perspective with a dual threat guy?
Okay, don't be selfish, Beam.
Yeah.
That's the number one. Don't be a cowboy, okay?
Hey.
Undisciplined.
Undercut the tackle. Go be a hero. Make the play.
Exactly. That was the advice given to me from a Hall of Famer who played a long time with the Denver Broncos. I'm going to leave his name out of that because he's one of the best linebackers ever to play at Ohio State. But he was also...
Gosh, I wonder who it could be.
Yeah, well, it's a long list right there. But he was recently inducted, maybe.
Yeah.
AJ that right in front of our defensive coordinator.
By the way, this is one of my favorite stories of all time was that one.
Be the hero. Make the play. But don't be a selfish player. Do not be a cowboy. Don't be a hero. When you're supposed to have contain, have contain. When you're supposed to be inside, be inside. Don't sit there and say, I'm going to go get the sack. And I was talking to TJ Hicks about this. I go, guys, if you just keep your feet moving and stay active, like this guy can't see. If you start to collapse the pocket on you, he will try to get out of there. And then that's when you go hawk him down with your speed. But don't be the guy that's selfish and thinks, I can go get this. And now it's 3rd and 10, and all of a sudden he pulls it down, and there's nothing but green grass and opportunity in front of him, and he's able to move the sticks and keeps it going. The one guy I will say, I think that probably the best player on their team is their running back, Jonah Coleman. Yeah. He is a thick dude. He's physical. He'll get downhill on you. They utilize him in the run game. He had a nice, 25, 30-yard touchdown on a screen pass. He'll catch some swings and checkdowns. He can do a lot of stuff. So that's the 3 guys, the triumvirate on their team is Coleman, Damon Williams, and then they've got Denzel Boston on the outside, who they'll throw half of their passes to. So you can isolate those guys, and that's what Matt Patricia is great at. Take away their best players and then force them to do something else and see if they can do it, and then we'll adjust from there.
It almost feels to me, Bob, I don't know if you would agree with this or not, with the options that Ohio State has with their secondary and then that linebacker group to be able to spy or corral or contain or whatever Matt Patricia wants to do, it feels like Ohio State is in a good position to neutralize Damon Williams, and maybe they will be as well with Jonah Coleman. But if there's been a spot where it's looked a little bit shaky, or we spent 8 months talking about the depth of the defensive tackles and the ability to stop the run up front, I feel like that's maybe where we haven't spent enough time breaking down that element of what Jonah Coleman really does well, and maybe a spot where Ohio State still has a question mark hanging out there.
Yeah. Caden McDonald's played really well. Mm-hmm. But outside of that, Edric Houston, they're trying to make sure that they can bring out all of his potential. They're still trying to get some from Will Smith. They're looking at some other guys, time alone. What's he going to be able to provide? They're still trying to figure that out. And that's why you've seen, which honestly, cats off to Kenyatta Jackson and Caden Curry, because if you've seen, Austin, when they do some of those 5 down fronts that they love so much, when you walk Arvell or Sonny up on the edge, Caden Curry, hell, he was playing nose tackle some, or he's playing 3 technique, and Kenyatta's done some of it too. Bo Atkinson's done it. You've got CJ Hicks out there on the edge, and then Caden in the middle. And so you've got guys that are tough, they're gritty, and especially when you play a team like this that wants to be fast, that's that extra speed that you're going to be able to get on the field. So they held up in the run against Texas, who probably has one of the better offensive lines you're going to find. And so if they can do that, I think you'll find a way to do it at any time.
Where would you rank Seattle in this road trip for Ohio State, Bob, as must-go destination? Because I am pretty jealous of Austin and everybody going out to cover this game on Saturday. It looks like one of the most beautiful places you could take in a college football game.
So I was talking to some of the guys out there. I said, you don't get lured into the weirdness that is Seattle.
It's the Pacific Northwest. It's a little weird. It's strange.
It's a great beer city.
You'll get out. That's fine. The beers are great, but don't be going out there. And next thing you know, you're going into some sort of weird back corner alley shop. You've got a hemp necklace on. Hacky sacks are everywhere. They're playing nothing but fish bean, which I love. It's fantastic. Mm-hmm. But
they're also throwing fish.
Yeah, throwing fish. You can do it all. City's beautiful. Great place to visit. Not sure I'd want to live there, but it's going to be a different environment. And so that's why they need guys like Austin or my guy Logan, who came from Idaho. I was trying to summon all the guys we have from kind of the West Coast to give them a little flavor of what they'll experience.
Yeah, absolutely. I would be excited if I was going. I just think if anybody's going out there or is already out there and is listening to this, you just got to get yourself in the right mental state of mind to take in the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah. It is. It's a little maybe more mellow Charlie Sheen, not full testosterone and banging 7-gram rock Charlie Sheen, but maybe more of the chill, sedative Charlie Sheen.
I feel like you've gotten through more of that show than you alluded to earlier in the week, Bob.
I have a half hour left. I watched an hour of it last night, and it's just the more I see of it, the more I'm convinced that he might be a vampire. I don't know if he can die, because everybody else, his ex-wife, the second one after what's her name, she's she goes, everybody we used to party with is dead. She's like, Charlie's he's just different.
He's built diff.
He is built different.
He is built diff. Because nobody else could do that. And that's what, who was he married to?
Denise Richards?
Denise Richards. She goes, he's honest. Like, Charlie's not going to lie to you. What he's telling you is the truth. And I'm going to tell you the truth because this isn't going to be some sort of fluff piece. And, I mean, they peeled back a lot. And there's a lot there to peel. So it's very interesting to see. But the thing I took away from it, Denise Richards, elite human being. Martin Sheen, elite human being. Like Emilio, like these dudes, these people did not give up on him. And they just kept battling with him and doing whatever they could. Like that to me is kind of the moral of the story. Everyone talks about everything else that goes on, and yeah, that's cool and this and that, but like just how much you care about people and what you're willing to do to try to save your friends and family.
I'm really disappointed that Emilio's not part of it.
Well, neither is Martin. Now their older brother, the other brother is, and then Sean Penn's in it. But I go, listen, Sean Penn's older. Like, he's about Charlie's age. And Charlie looks 10 years younger than him. I don't even know how that's possible with what he's done in his life. He looks good for 60. He looks amazing for the life that he's lived. The fact that he doesn't have worms crawling out of his face is borderline unbelievable.
Got into that Tom Cruise diet, eating all kinds of weird stuff out there. Buddy, always appreciate the time. Thanks for popping on with us. Have a fantastic weekend. Enjoy the game, and we'll check in again soon, all right?
Hey, love hanging out with you guys every time.
There he goes. Coach Carp with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. I was afraid to ask because it was going to take up 5 more minutes. I don't know what show he's watching.
Oh, there's a new doc on Charlie Sheen that's on Netflix.
I don't have Netflix.
Oh, well.
You're going to have to. Well, I think I just kind of got the Cliff Notes on it.
It's a wild scene, man. Like, I'm sure you remember.
Should I re-engage Netflix for it?
It's pretty good. I mean, I don't know. It depends if you can get like a
Great
discount
Baking Show.
Free trial.
Yeah.
Put in a burner email address and get it for free. But it's crazy.
Hashtag Buckeyes coming at you next. It's the Buckeye Show on the Fan.
We're the highest rated sports radio station in America. There's no joke there. We just are. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Looking for bold flavors and award-winning spirits? High Bank Distillery is your destination for handcrafted cocktails, locally inspired dishes, and Whiskey War, the nationally recognized whiskey. Stop by their Grandview, Gahanna, and Westerville locations this week. Dine, drink, distill at High Bank.
Wouldn't it be nice if you could dump all your problems on someone else's back? Well, when you wake up to a clogged drain or a plumbing issue, make that Mr. Rooter's problem.
Call 855-MISTERS today or MrRooter.com.
Call Mr. Rooter, he'll be there quick.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix that's guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
You can save big on 12 packs of Coca-Cola, Pepsi, or 7-Up. Select varieties or buy 2, get 2 free with your card. Limit 8. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
Go behind the scenes of one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of college athletics with a tour of Ohio Stadium presented by Experience Columbus. A seasoned redcoat will be your guide as you make your way through walls of the stadium, into the press box, and onto the field. Upgrade to the VIP package and get special access to the band center and the Ohio State home locker room. From corporate outings and school groups to single-person tours and small families, Ohio Stadium tours offer a variety of options and pricing. For more information, visit ohiostatebuckeyes.com and book your tour. Ohio Stadium Tours, presented by Experience Columbus.
The best outcomes for treating cancer come from early detection and early diagnosis.
The James Cancer Diagnostic Center at Ohio State
is designed to provide rapid evaluation and a clear diagnosis.
We are transforming care by giving patients direct access.
The cancer experts who study and treat cancer every day.
If you think you have cancer, the choice is clear.
Choose the James Cancer Diagnostic Center.
Already prepping for next week's matchup? Get your best rest yet with Bob's Discount Furniture. Shop Bob's and choose from pillows, soft, plush, dual feel, and extra firm mattresses with Bobopedic memory foam that will have you dreaming of game day in no time. So shop in store or online to score the latest and affordable luxury mattresses without the luxury price tag. Bob's Discount Furniture, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix, guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. And you never compromise your appetite with our golden brown bread that's baked fresh in store. And you never compromise your wallet with our lower prices. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
Common Man has hosted shows with radio royalty, Spielman, Tor, T-Bone, just to name a few. So listen to his new show with Timmy Hall. If man can pull this one off, he's a miracle worker. Common Man and Timmy.
Weekdays at 3.
The Fan.
Hey, it's Anthony. Tailgating, hiking stadium stairs, going out after the games. It's a great time of year. It's also the time of year I'm on my feet a lot. And there won't be a time when I don't have my personally fit arch supports from the Good Feet store in my shoes. They make all the difference for me. They help my feet, my hips, my back. They're not just like regular insoles. They're designed so I get firm yet flexible function. They actually correct poor foot biomechanics and give me even more comfort. The fitting process is simple. From the moment you walk in, the Good Feet store will personalize the process. From the pain that brought you to them in the first place to your lifestyle needs. They'll properly measure your feet and arch size. Then take the free test walk. If you love them, wear them home like I did. Your new arch supports will help you begin living the life you love without your feet getting in the way. Just stop by the Good Feet store on Polaris Parkway or Stringtown Road in Grove City and learn more at goodfeet.com.
It's almost Football Friday. All play and no work.
Sponsored by Tansky's Sawmill Toyota.
Your home for football, The Fan. Social media can be a cesspool. Allow us to navigate the waters. #Buckeyes.
Sponsored by the Waterworks. Call the plumbing, heating, and cooling technicians at the Waterworks and header today. Call 614-232-2222. Proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Final segment for us here before we get you some NFL action. But the Seahawks and the Cards tonight.
Jackson Smith and Jigba against Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah, Marv had a tough week last week.
Those drops didn't look great.
Yeah, JSN leading the league, I believe, in receiving.
He's been on an absolute tear to start the year.
Yeah, so has Emeka. Who could have ever seen that
what? Emeka's good at football?
Wow.
You don't say.
Yeah, that's a pretty wild ride.
Remember when people were trying to talk themselves into taking any other wide receiver other than Emeka Ibuka?
It's just ridiculous.
Remember just yelling into this microphone.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
And I also remember just being like, wherever he goes, it's going to be great. And then he goes to Tampa Bay, and I'm like, it's going to be great.
The fact that he wasn't just like great in the game, but won the game in week one is like, here we go. Because then Liberty's like, she loves Emeka. She's like, is it okay if I cheer for Emeka?
Mike Evans said that he literally called his shot. He said, throw me the ball. I'm going to be open. Let's win this game right here.
Turns out he was right.
Yeah.
Never doubt Emeka.
No. Never doubt JSN either. Should be a good one tonight. We'll get you out to Arizona coming up here at the top of the hour. Again, you can always watch the show on YouTube. Thanks for everybody for chiming in on the chat this evening. Let's go to the chat real quick. Nate, not you, Nate, behind the glass, Nate, YouTube chatter, which you could be the same people. I don't know. He said, this game reminds me of 2007 when number 1 Ohio State went up against unranked Illinois and their quarterback and running back duo. Illinois went on to win the Big Ten, I believe. He said, this is also the last OSU game I ever attended. I remember that game. That was the infamous Juice Williams game.
Juice is loose.
Where Juice was like 12 of 20-something, but he had 4 touchdowns in that game.
And
I believe Rashard Mendenhall, I think he was the running back for Illinois at that time. That was an infamous Buckeye game.
Yeah.
But that was at home.
I wouldn't draw back to that one. I mean, it sounds like some personal trauma there.
Yeah.
Didn't ever go back.
Everyone has a personal trauma story with their sports team.
Yeah, no, okay. I get it. I'm not telling anyone how to feel. You want to, project this one out to be like that game. I don't feel like Illinois winning that game, like it's a shock around here, of course, but like nationally, I don't think people are like, oh, well, that's stunning. And that team wound up doing something pretty significant.
Mm-hmm.
Like Washington, this would be a pretty monumental upset. Even if that spread is not dramatic, 4 touchdowns, they're not receiving a single vote in the AP poll.
Correct.
They haven't beat a Power 4 team yet. Like they are, and maybe they will be great. I don't know. I have a very hard time. There are pathways to Washington winning the game. They're a good football team. They are not anywhere near as talented 1 through 85 as Ohio State. You can say, well, maybe that wasn't true for 2007 in Illinois, but the top, 20 of that roster didn't look all that different than what Ohio State had at that point. So, that's not a knock on Ohio State as much as it was a compliment for that Illinois team.
Yeah, for sure. That was a pretty big trauma game for me. I'm trying to remember now, like the most traumatic sports experience. The double doink is way up there. Whew, that's a bad one. Don't want to relive that. That was pretty miserable. And then also, since the Reds won today, I guess I can say this. Buster Posey's grand slam against the Reds in the NLDS after the Reds had gone up 2-0 on the road in San Francisco in that Game 5 elimination game against the Giants. Buster Posey hits that grand slam in whatever inning it was. I was working at the shop as a janitor when that game was going off, and there was no event or anything. So I just had kind of locked myself in an office somewhere and turned on a TV and was watching this game. I yelled the loudest F-bomb I think anybody in the world has ever unleashed as soon as that ball was uncorked off of Buster Posey's bat.
I've got a good one that I thought that's haunted me for years.
Yeah.
I was someone that used to sell pizzas in the stands at OSU.
Yeah.
And then as you do that, you would, scout for empty seats, to go watch the game. And so I was sitting in the corner of the end zone in 1997 when the pass was incomplete against Michigan State. That sucked.
That's a tough one. That's a bad one. Yeah, for sure. Also 2015 when Michigan State won on a walk-off field goal. I was in the student section, like freshly graduated, and that was quite the scene.
That was an interesting night.
Yeah, it was.
And you left the stadium dejected, and I went up to interview Ezekiel Elliott, where he was like, well, that was my last game here. Oh, great.
How do you only give me the ball, what was it, 9 times?
Yeah,
something like that.
He had 13 carries.
Okay,
but
well, he was not happy about that.
It's like a fishtail where it just gets smaller and smaller every year. They didn't even play Zeke. Yeah, that's why he's crying.
That was a bad one.
How about when the U.S. failed to qualify by losing to Trinidad and Tobago in 2017?
Yeah, that was not very good.
I remember sitting in like my easy chair for like an hour and a half
just
and didn't say a word. Now we just went
not
upstairs.
Looking at your phone, just probably staring.
I didn't talk to Allie. She went to bed, and I was just like, I don't know what I just watched. That was the most traumatic for me.
Bunch of pompous, tattooed superstars, which gave birth to one of the great rants of all time.
I'm glad we have it.
Yeah.
Because that was speaking how we were all feeling.
Yeah, and if they didn't automatically qualify for next year's World Cup, I think we might be in the same.
We'd be in the same boat, man.
I think we would.
We have not been the same since that night, 2-1 in Trinidad and Tobago.
Before we get out of here tonight, our fan poll at 971thefan.com or on X at 971thefan. Who do you think wins tonight's Thursday night football contest in Arizona between the Seahawks and the Cardinals? Seahawks or Cardinals? Austin.
Birds.
I think the Birds are going to win.
Bird.
Yeah.
Bird's the word.
I think I'm going to go with the Birds.
I believe that Marv's going to have a bounce back game.
Okay.
Cards win.
Okay. I'm going to go Seahawks. Austin had a great time. Have a fantastic time out in Seattle for road beers. Have a couple of good ones for me.
I will.
Have a great time. Can't wait to hear the review on Tuesday of your press box snobbery.
Just watch The Notebook on the Austin and Berm Show.
Got NFL action up next on The Fan.
There's nothing Bo Bishop can't do well, except find competent co-hosts. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan.
Let's go! Fox Tonight takes you to hell and back.
Speed up! Yes, yes!
First, don't miss an all-new season of Hell's Kitchen. And for the first time ever, it's a battle of the states.
Cook with pride!
Then, Olympic gold medalist Shawn Johnson.
Ready?
Jump!
Actor Jesse Smollett.
We got this.
TV personality Teresa Giudice and more.
I can't breathe!
Take on Special Forces' world's toughest test.
One of us has to stay calm.
Tonight, starting at 8 on Fox 28.
At the end of the day, the sun sets on Central Ohio, but stories are still unfolding. Every voice, every neighborhood, every question that still needs answers. Fox 28 News at 10 is there in the quiet moments and at the turning points, digging deeper, finding solutions, lifting up the communities that shape who we are. At the end of the day, you deserve a team that's on your side. Fox 28 News at 10, always on your side.
There's one medical team in Central Ohio skilled enough to care for your favorite Ohio State team, and Buckeyes everywhere. The Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center is your choice for the most highly specialized orthopedic and sports medicine care. Our surgeons, physicians, and physical therapists have access to the most advanced treatments and innovative recovery approaches to get you back in your game. Because on or off the field, our team is your team. The choice for your orthopedic care is clear.
It's game day at Raising Cane's. If you want to order like a Buckeye, it's the action off the field you need to focus on. The only play you're running is chicken. So what combo are you picking? Make it a perfect season. We've got tailgates of hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers and cane sauce. And jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade. All available to order online or on our app. This season is about to be unbeatable. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love. Proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Experience Buckeye game day like never before. Welcome to the 1922 Club, the most exclusive space inside Ohio Stadium, where luxury meets tradition in the heart of Buckeye Nation. Enjoy upscale food and beverages and a game day atmosphere like no other. Create lasting memories with friends and mingling with other Buckeye fans, and celebrate every OHIO in ultimate comfort. Become a member of the 1922 Club today. Memberships are limited. Visit OhioStateBuckeyes.com.
They're trained. They're prepared.
Let's do it.
They're Ohio's undefeated plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling team. And they're here to tackle your problems. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com.